Hey there, class. Mr. Posky here. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're doing 2.2 today, which is, the name of the lesson is addition of real numbers. Our essential question is, how do we add real numbers? So we're doing some adding. We're going to be adding same signs, different signs. We're going to be doing some number line stuff. We're also going to be doing some properties, which are going to be important too, okay? So we have a warm-up here. It says solve the following. We have 1 through 6. They should be hopefully not too tricky or not too challenging, but give them a try because they will be important for later in the lesson. All right, welcome back. So what is 4 plus 5? 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay. What is 5 plus 4? That is also 9. That's kind of weird. What did we change here? We changed the way that we ordered these, right? It looks like the way that the order we changed, the way we added them didn't matter, right? Because 4 plus 5 equals 9 and 5 plus 4 equals 9. Interesting. Okay, now we have number 3. We're doing PEMDAS stuff. We need to do parentheses first. We're going to do 2 plus 3, which is 5. We're going to add 6. What's 5 plus 6 going to be? It's going to be 11. And over here, we're doing parentheses first again, too. So what is, let me put 5 underneath here, or above here. 5. Now we got to do 2 plus 3 plus 6. We got to do 3 plus 6 first, which is 9. So now we have 2 plus 9, which equals 11. So it looks like the way we grouped these things didn't matter because we still got 11 both ways. Okay, cool. 10 plus 0. What's anything plus 0 going to be? It's going to be itself, right? So it's going to be 10. Pretty life-changing, crazy stuff. Now what is 7 plus negative 7 going to be? If we add opposites, we're going to get 0, right? They're going to cancel each other out. Cool, we'll come back to those in a little while, but for right now, we're going to be talking about adding using a number line. Okay, so it says when you add a positive number, you go right on the number line. It is getting more positive. And when you add a negative number, you go left on the number line. It is getting more negative. Okay, use the number line to find the sum. Start at 0. Okay, so we're going to start at 0. But we're going to start at negative 2 actually right here, right? Starting at negative 2 plus 5, we got 2 plus negative 6, we got negative 3 plus 5 plus negative 6. So start at negative 2. I'm actually going to erase that. I should have changed that. We don't want to start at 0. We want to start at the first number here, okay? Makes it easier. So negative 2 is right here, right? And we're going to add 5. So we're going to go 5 to the right or 5 to the left? What do you guys think? We're going to go 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What number do we end up at? We got 3. And it's negative 2 plus 5, or 5 minus 2, is that 3? That is correct. That is true. Okay, good. Number 2, we have 2 plus negative 6. We're at 2. And we are adding negative 6. We're getting more negatives. Are we going to go to the left or to the right? We're going to go to the left 6. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got negative 4. Okay. Last one, we're going to use 2 different colors. We're adding 3 numbers in a row here. We got negative 3 plus 5 plus negative 6. So we're going to start at negative 3. We're going to go 5 to the right or to the left if we're adding 5. We're going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're adding negative 6. We're going to use a different color. We're going to go underneath now. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get negative 4 as well. Okay, so if that helps you, the number line is helpful, that's cool, but we want to get away from the number line eventually and just get to a point where we can just add numbers in our brain. And on the next page, we're going to talk about how we add integers in a quicker and more efficient way, but number lines are helpful for sure. How to add integers. If adding 2 numbers with the same signs, we have a positive and a positive or a negative and a negative. I forgot to mention, this kind of looks like an owl right here. Right here looks like an owl. Right? There's a branch, and there's an owl. Okay, anyways, just a very important message from Mr. Bohusky there. I just like to show that. Actually, it's 0, 0 when we think about using the owl. It's 0, 0 when we do 0, 0, then we can do the eyes. Yep, anyways, just thought you'd like to know that. Whenever I see like a 0, 0, or I see these kind of, ordered pairs, I just think of an owl. It's just kind of funny to me. But anyways, so if we're adding numbers with the same sign, what we're going to do is we're going to add the numbers and we're going to keep the sign. We're going to add the numbers and keep the sign. So, for example, we have 10 plus 3, same sign, they're both positive. What is 10 plus 3 going to be? It's going to be 13. And what is the sign of both of them? They're both positive, so we're going to stay positive. This is our final answer, it's just 13. Okay, now -4 plus -5, same signs, but they're both negative. So what we're going to do below that, even though they're both negative, we're going to do 4 plus 5. We're going to add the numbers without the signs for now. What's 4 plus 5 going to be? It's going to be 9. But our final answer is not going to be 9. These are both negative. They're going to get more negative, so it's actually going to be -9. Okay, so you add the numbers, and you keep the sign of the original numbers, which is negative. It's going to be -9. Now, adding numbers with different signs, we have a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive. We're going to subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the bigger number. I put bigger in quotation marks because it's actually the bigger absolute value. It's not actually the bigger number because it's not like the farther to the right, on the number line or anything. It's just the bigger number. So, like, for example, 3 is bigger than -9. But 9 is a bigger number than 3, right? We just look at the actual number itself and not the sign is what I'm trying to talk about here, okay? So we're adding numbers with different signs. So we have 3 plus -9. We have a positive and a negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract in our brains. We're going to do 9 minus 3. And what is 9 minus 3 going to be? That's going to be 6. And then which number is bigger, 3 or 9? 9 is bigger. And what's the sign on the 9? Is it positive or negative? It is negative, so we're going to put -6 for our final answer. So subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number, which is -9, is going to be the bigger number in quotation marks, okay? Now we have -12 plus 7. We have, so we're adding numbers with different signs. We're going to subtract. We're going to do 12 minus 7. What is 12 minus 7 going to be? That's going to be 5. Now, which number is bigger, the 12 or the 7? 12 is bigger, a bigger absolute value. So what's the sign on the 12? Is it negative or positive? It is negative, so we're going to get -5 for our answer for this one. Okay, so you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number or the bigger absolute value number. Absolute value is distance from 0. So even though 3 is bigger than -9, 9 is farther away from 0. It's got a bigger distance from 0. Okay? All right, we have choose your own adventure. Why don't you it says choose 3. This would be in class if we were doing this. Just do all the problems and you'll check your answers in a little bit. All right, so let's use a dark indigo color. So we have 11 plus 9. So we're going to add them up, right? Same signs. 11 plus 9 equals 20. What's the end result going to be? Is it going to be positive or -20? It's going to be positive 20 because they're both positive. Okay. Number 2, same signs or different signs? They are different signs, so we're going to subtract 4 minus 3. And what's 4 minus 3 going to be? It's going to be 1. Then which number is bigger, 3 or 4? 4 is bigger, so we're going to have the sign on the 4 is negative, so we're going to have -1 is going to be our answer for this one. All right, now we have 8 plus -8. Same signs or different signs? They are different signs, so we're going to subtract. 8 minus 8 equals 0, and that's just going to be 0, right? There's no sign on 0. Cool. -13 plus -1. Same signs or different signs? They are same signs, so we're going to add them up. 13 plus 1 equals 14. And what's the sign going to be? They're both negative, so it's going to stay negative. If we add a negative to a negative, it's going to get more negative, right? It's going to become more negative in the negative direction, okay? All right, 2 more for this page here. We got -5 plus 19. -5 plus 19. So same signs or different signs? They are different signs, so we're going to subtract 19 minus 5. And what's 19 minus 5 going to be? That's going to be 14. And then is the sign going to be positive or negative? What do you guys think? Which number is bigger, 19 or 5? 19 is bigger, and the sign of the 19 is positive, so we're going to get positive 14. Okay? All right, and then the last one, -3 plus -15. Same signs or different signs? Same signs, so we're going to add 3 plus 15, which equals 18. What's our sign going to be? They're both negative, so it's going to stay negative, right? Same signs? So we're going to keep the same signs the same. Same signs the same. That's kind of goofy. Okay, so that's how we add integers. Now let's move on to properties of addition. Okay, we're going to look back at the warm-up a little bit here, okay? It says each set of questions shows a property. So, for example, we had 4 plus, let me zoom in a little bit. 4 plus 5 equals 9, and 5 plus 4 equals 9. What did we change when we were adding here? We changed the what? Starts with an O. We changed the order. This is called the commutative property. Say commutative. Say commutative. Yep, so the order in which we add two numbers does not change the sum, does not change the result. Okay, that's called the commutative property. All right, the associative property, that was this one. We had, for example, we had 2 plus 3 in parentheses plus 6 equals 5 plus 6, which equaled 11. And then we had 2 plus, in parentheses, 3 plus 6 equals 2 plus 9, which equals 11. Let me slow down for a second here, sorry. Just so excited. Okay, so what do we change here? We changed the way that we grouped these numbers. We grouped them. The way you group three numbers does not change when adding this, or does not, the way you group three numbers when adding does not change the sum. This is called grouping. These are the words I want you to remember here. And don't just put down, a lot of people, I put down order and grouping, and people put down this is the order property or the grouping property. No. This is the commutative property and the associative property, but those words are going to help you remember what they actually mean, what they look like, okay? So it's called the commutative property and the associative property, but to remember the commutative property, you think, oh, it's the order. Oh, associative property is the grouping, okay? So don't get those switched up. It's not the grouping property. It's not the order property. All right, identity property, the sum of a number. So we had, for example, we had 10 plus 0 equals 10. So the sum of a number, and which number is the number? It's going to be 0. So the word I want you to write down for identity property is itself. It's going to be itself. And 0, right below here, if you have room here, equals the addition identity. And 1 equals the multiplication identity. Okay, we'll talk about the multiplication identity later. Inverse property, the sum of a number and, so we did 7 plus negative 7 equals 0. Okay, looks like we added the sum of a number and, oh, I put itself on my paper. It's actually its opposites, right? And it's opposite. I'm going to fix that on my sheet, actually. Okay. So inverse property means it gets back to the identity. Gets back to itself. Or it goes back to 0, that is. Okay? So inverse property goes right back to identity. Okay? So these are the properties. We have a commutative property, associative property, identity property, and inverse property. These are all different things that people proved using math that it's true no matter what numbers you plug in here that this will be the case. If you add, 14 plus 4 is going to equal the same thing as 4 plus 14, right? 23 plus negative 23 is going to equal 0. These are all properties of addition that were proven that are true and help us solve problems because we can just assume that they're true. Okay? All right, it says name the property that makes the equation true. I'll leave it right here. You guys can write down which properties you think they are recommending here, or which properties are being represented here by these problems. Go ahead and give it a try. Okay, we have 153 plus 0. Looks like we got back to 153. Which property did you guys write down here? What do you guys think? This is the identity property. Identity property. Negative 4, the quantity of negative 4 plus 5, all plus 3, equals negative 4 plus the quantity of 5 plus 3. Looks like we changed the way we grouped things here. What's that property? That's going to be the associative property. Then we have negative 7 plus negative 7 equals 0. That one's given away here. That's going to be the inverse property. Inverse property, we added the number plus its opposite is going to equal the identity, which is 0. And then 5 plus 2 equals 2 plus 5. That's commutative. That's the order. Okay, and that should be our lesson for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we will talk soon.